gorilla hybrid sitting on top of the wall, grinning at you, and jumps down at you as you let off a shriek with your flute, waking your party. The rest of you, first off, Lyle, make me a dex save.
16.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. So, as the rest of you wake up, you see this hideous thing, this ginormous ape creature, bounding off up towards the hill with Lyle in hand. Lyle, you managed to hold on to your flute, and as you lose sight of him, guys, you still hear him tooting off on this thing in shrill notes. How do the rest of you react?
Galvin, can I get some light?
Okay. Cast light on my hand.
No,
Yeah,
I'm like holding out my hand or something.
Yeah. Put light on his hand, and I'm going to clear away the embankment I put up. So we can
bonus action. Haru is just going to bound off after this thing. Full dash. Try to catch up to it. He's got 40 feet of speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a glowing fist now.
You are the last.
How far away are they?
Massive.
You, as you sit up, you lose sight of the gorilla and Lyle quickly. This thing is moving.
Really?
Dancing lights and light.
I guess Entangle wouldn't reach.
No.
They're for different reasons.
I guess I'm gonna chase after Haru
And Lyle.
and Lyle.
I think I'm done.
Bacon,
I think I'm done. Right now.
go wash your hands. Okay, go wash your hands and this.
I'm so hungry, but this
We'll get you something in a minute.
is a vegetable I got.
Bacon?
I'm going to groggily get up to my feet and try to catch up, though I'm trailing behind. Wait up, guys!
So this goblin gorilla creature just swooped down and snatched me up and took off.
Yes.
I'm frantically blowing into my flute, making distress calls, screaming help.
So
Yeah, this thing has you tucked up under its arm like a football, and it is three-legged running
Lovely.
through the jungle.
Yeah.
It's hot breath just stenching around you as it's running and gasping. Okay, as a party, somebody roll a dexterity roll.
I'm willing to do it.
Okay.
So I got a 13, and I add my modifier, so it's 16.
It's 15? Okay, that's against his 14. So you guys...
A total of 16. But yeah.
You guys bound in closer to this thing. Haru, you caught sight of it.
Okay.
And the rest of you are still seeing Haru, who's a little bit ahead of you, as you all are sprinting full speed through this jungle, or through this forest. It's starting to gain a little elevation as the ground starts climbing up towards the mountain. All right, somebody else roll another dex.
I'll do it.
All right.
Okay.
Let the Dexy people do it.
18.
Nice.
18 versus his 2. So you guys are really gaining ground on this gorilla. Haru, you feel like you're almost in range that you could possibly leap at this thing. You're closing in fairly fast.
All right.
one more time, somebody else roll the dex.
I will.
Okay.
That's going to be a 12.
12 versus his 11. All right, so Haru, you're in the lead as you can reach out now and try to swipe at him.
All right. Which side is Lyle being held on, left or right?
As you're looking at his back, you see Lyle's feet sticking out from the left arm of this thing.
All right. So what I want to do is instead of like punching at it, I want to just dive tackle it and try to wrestle it to the ground, slamming its right side into the dirt.
Okay.
That'll be either strength or athletics check, whichever one you.
Let's go with athletics to launch yourself and tackle this guy.
All right.
What pops would that be?
Yeah.
Should I use my inspiration for this? I think I will.
All right.
So probably good thing I did. I got a 13.
All right. So you're gonna re-roll it, or with
No,
inspiration?
that was rolling 2 dice.
Okay.
I gave you the highest one already.
Okay. So yeah, that is not gonna cut it.
Okay.
As you leap at this thing, you feel his foot just get out from your grasp as he makes an immediate turn behind a tree, and you hit the ground and bound back up, catching your feet and start after him again. At this point, the rest of them have the rest of your party have caught up to you, and I imagine one of them helps you up as they turn the tree and keep continuing on. You're starting to see the trees give way to statues of giant faces, kind of pieced together with smaller stones as this thing is bounding through the center of them. Beacon, why don't you give me one more dex save, or not dex save, dex roll.
You sure you want me doing that?
Last one left.
2.
All right. Yeah, he rolled a 15. So
Yeah, as I said, are you sure you want me doing that?
So you see him leap and go over the edge of the horizon, and you lose sight of him. The rest of you come forward, and you see yourself on this smaller overlook of what seems to be some kind of a ceremonial place. The statues that you've been passing through are now in a half circle, all facing towards the center, which has this type of mosaic stonework working its way through the spirals. And on the far end looks to be what remains of a work camp at the entrance of this smaller cave where the vines themselves have been cut away. And the gorilla has tossed Lyle to the ground and is now standing over him, about to come down with his fist, ready for a meal. We're going to have everybody roll for initiative at this point.
All right. So that'll be a 14 for Haru.
I got
7.
Who got a 20?
21.
Nice.
I got a 15.
All right, go.
Beacon got a 7.
Beacon got a 7.
Slightly better than a 2.
Slightly better than a 2. Lyle, you got
15.
15.
Actually, no. That's a 17 for the +2.
Okay, Haru got a 14.
And Lyle, it's okay if you die, because that makes it easier.
No, it's not okay if I die.
Because that makes it easier for Beacon to bring you back up to full health.
So, Laurelin had 21. Galvin, did you say you had a 20?
No, I got a 10.
Oh, you got a 10. Okay.
It's the
Wish I got
Scythe Tower.
It's okay if you die.
All right.
Gotcha.
Laurelin, you find yourself at the top of this this overlook here. What would you like to do?
All right, so I'm on top of the overlook. Do I see the gorilla?
Yeah, he's standing over the prone form of Lyle, who is trying to kind of scoot away with his elbows and feet on his back. And it looks like this thing is about to make a meal.
Ooh, okay. Can I entangle the gorilla?
Yes, yes, you can.
Let's see. This is casting time, 1 action. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square starting from a point within range.
Mhm.
For the duration, these plants turn the ground into an area into difficult terrain. Do I need to roll anything for this, or does it just?
It sounds like it's something that the gorilla has to do a saving throw on.
Oh yeah, you're right. It says the creature in the area, when you cast a spell, must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends.
Any creature?
It just says
Yeah, any creature.
a creature.
All right.
No.
Lyle, make a strength save.
Now,
What is the difficulty of your?
What's your spellcasting DC?
Hold on. Let's see. Where is that on this sheet?
it doesn't matter. I rolled an 11.
Oh,
Well, it may matter depending on
Yeah.
where DC is.
I highly doubt it.
Most likely, Laurelin's got a DC of something like 13 or 14. At this level.
D&D Beyond changed everything around. Now I don't know where this is. Where would I find this on the sheet?
Just what's your wisdom modifier?
There you go.
Wisdom modifier is +4.
+4. So that means it would be a DC 14.
Oh, yep, here it is.
If you actually click on the name of the spell, it'll have that listed in the description.
It's a plus proficiency bonus plus wisdom modifier. Not that we care about rules here.
Okay, so and it also says a creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself.
All right, so it sounds like both the gorilla and Lyle have failed this save. Lyle, what you see is...
Can I describe it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so these kind of like ivy-looking vines are just gonna sprout up out of the ground and just quickly start twisting their way around the limbs of the gorilla and, unfortunately, Lyle, like bringing them down to the ground, pinning them.
Awesome. You see the gorilla fall to one knee as these vines reach up and have wrapped themselves around every limb and around the neck of this thing, is trying to tug it down. Lyle, you being already on the ground, it has pretty much encased you. So you are effectively tied up on the ground on your back and will have to pull your way free.
Okay. I just want it to be known that I'm in the process of trying to scream obscenities at our druid, but they're being muffled out by the vines choking me.
But you're not being eaten.
All right.
I have nothing Okay, so what do I need to make another strength saving throw to try and free myself?
Yes, that's really the only thing you can do at this point.
Oh my goodness. That is a 4.
That is a fail.
My muffled screams begin getting a little bit louder now at this point.
Haru, we come to you.
Haru's going to glance at Laurelin. Is it safe for me to go in there?
Yes.
Basically asking if I'll get entangled as well.
No.
All right.
So
So
it will be difficult terrain for you to
Yes. It will be difficult.
it takes twice as much then to move through that square.
Mhm.
So how far away is it? It's like 20
Yeah, it's about 25 feet away from you.
25 feet.
You're looking over it.
I might be able to get in there. You know what I'm gonna do? How far did you Laurelin, did Laurelin put the entangling vines directly on them or back a little bit?
Yeah, they were towards the center of this spiral mosaic work that is now destroyed. So it pretty much grew up all the way from there to where the statues are.
All right.
It also lasts 1 minute.
It may have even knocked one or two of them down and crumbled them.
What Haru is going to do is he's going to run as up to the edge of the vines. He's going to do a long jump.
Okay.
So he should be able to travel 16 feet in a jump.
Uh-huh.
If he's got at least 10 feet of running distance.
Mm-hmm. You've also got a little bit of elevation, so I'll let you cover a little further distance.
So with that, I should get at least it's 16 feet, maybe about 20 feet into the center of it. So I should be about there.
Okay.
Take some movement speed.
Okay. Let's do it.
So Haru is going to aim so he kind of lands next to the gorilla, but not on top of Lyle.
Okay. Yeah, you really can't see Lyle at this point.
Okay. All right. Well, then I might have seen him where he was when he was dropped.
Yes, you have a general idea, but
all right. So yeah, I'm just gonna hop on over there. There shouldn't be a strength check or anything for that. It's just long jump.
yeah. Well, I'll allow it just to happen. So you leap over the Bionic Man noise plays as you jump through the air, and you now landed at the feet of this gorilla who is still trying its damnedest to break free here.
All right. And because it's restrained, its attack rolls have disadvantage. Its speed is 0, and it has disadvantage on attack rolls and dexterity saving throws.
Yes.
So what Haru is going to do this round is just swipe at it with both of his claws.
Okay.
In rending tears.
All right.
All right.
What percentage while you do that?
So that would be a 24 to hit and a 21 to hit.
Both easily.
Yeah. But not, I rolled pretty low. So 5, 4. So that's just 9 damage.
Okay, yeah, you break across this thing.
That was good. It was a complete fail.
Well, complete fail.
Doesn't always get me a popsicle.
Trying not to destroy the vines, but some of them get cut in the process. So we'll see how it fares.
My vines.
In my rig team voice. Fuck your vines.
Hey, those vines kept you from getting eaten.
No. You dabbed. It's too late.
Yeah, you're
Dabbing all night.
That gorilla was about to peel your banana.
so
instead of getting eaten, he's getting mulched.
Right. Is this the lesser of two evils?
Did you say 9 damage or 13 damage?
It was 9.
Okay.
9 total.
All right. Yeah, your claws dig in, but you immediately feel the toughness of this hide. It is thick, and the fur is not helping you at all. So, I mean, you drew some blood, but it doesn't look like it did much to this thing, as its eyes now fixate on you, and its arms bulge as it tries to break free.
Okay.
Galvin, we're gonna move on to you.
Okay, how far away is it?
About 25 feet.
25 feet?
Mm-hmm. And you're roughly 15 feet above it.
I'm giving you a pretty clear view of it with my glowing fist.
Bruce Leroy over there.
Let's see. In range of quite a few things. I'm going to just do a regular firebolt.
Mm.
Well,
So, just so I'm clear, you're going to shoot a firebolt
And a bunch of vines.
at your enemy surrounded in plant life.
5 plant
Which is also entangling your friend on the ground.
fine. I'll
Oh,
do
God.
something less damaging. How about Ray of Frost?
Yeah, go ahead and wilt the vines.
Not my vine.
What?
I'm
You want
totally finding new friends after this.
spray?
Yeah.
Take my chances in Freeport.
What say you, Galvin?
Well, I'm going to use Ray of Frost then.
Okay.
Richard, I'm good.
That's going to be 8 to hit, so I'm pretty sure I didn't get it.
What was it?
8 to hit.
8 to hit. That was the total.
Yep.
Gonna
Yeah, it did not hit at all. Your magics leave your hand and fly down, but your aim wasn't true, and it completely misses. Eyes still fixated on the Dragonborn. This thing bulges up, trying to free itself, to no avail. It struggles in vain. Now it falls down to 2 knees as these vines are. Are you okay? Move that.
Sounds like someone rolled a natural 1.
Yep, that would be my son.
Are you okay?
Natural 1 when you're navigating around a table and chairs.
And he smashed a toe, but he's all right. Yeah, it looks at you with seething anger, but the more it struggles, it seems, the more the vines just pull it down towards the ground. Beacon.
I shall say a prayer and toll the dead on it. DC 12. It's going to be wisdom.
Gonna fail.
It failed.
Mm-hmm.
Has it actually taken damage yet?
Yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Or slashed it.
10 points of necrotic. So it basically hears this deafening bell tone just ringing in its ears.
Okay.
The unholy dubstep.
Mm-hmm.
Holy dubstep. You just dropped the beat on this guy.
I actually need to find something with that to play along.
Yes, you do. That is your homework. Okay. Where the anger was seething out of its eyes, now you see just primal fear come over as it's shaking its head this way and that. You're not real clear why, but now it's fallen down to where its hands and knees are on the ground now.
Okay.
Laurelyn, we're back up to you.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent. Let me. Can I just attack it regularly?
Like smack it with a staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta close the distance, but yeah.
Oh, I would like to do that.
I have
So
a running long jump.
how do can I just
You can jump up to a number of feet equal to your strength score. If you do a foot run. And that'll help you close the distance to it. It's about 25 feet away. And you put down like a 20-foot radius tangling lines, right?
Yeah, actually, the more I think about it, maybe I should just use ice knife.
Okay.
I mean,
Doesn't ice knife splatter to everyone nearby?
Yeah.
it just
Oh my god.
I mean, you can ice knife if you want to.
really it doesn't say that. It just says
Well, here it says on hit, the target takes 1d10 damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of the explosion.
right, I don't want to do that.
Must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. I want to do that because my
If you have
friend is
any
rude.
kind of attack cantrip, you might consider that. Otherwise, you can try using your movement and do a running long jump, and you might be able to get close enough to it.
Okay, well, what do I have to roll anything to do a running
Nope.
long jump?
No roll needed.
Oh, okay. Well,
What you do is you just like run 10 feet forward, you jump, and you get a number of feet into this entangling mass of vines up to your strength score. And then anything left over, you have to cover with your normal movement speed.
okay. Well, I would like to do all of that. But I don't have a staff. I have a scimitar.
Okay.
So,
So,
yeah, I don't have a staff. I have a scimitar.
35 move speed.
Say what?
With 35 move speed, do 10 feet, so you're at 25 feet. You jump. How much is your strength? At least a 10?
My strength is a 12.
12?
Yes.
So 10, 12. That gets you 22 feet closer to it. So
Am I almost?
last feet is like 6 feet of movement, so you should be able to cover it.
Yeah, he would be right there within melee range.
All right. So you said, is it pinned to the ground?
Yes.
Yep, your attacks have advantage on it, melee attacks.
Cool. Can I just like try to slice into it
Yes.
like it's back?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let me roll. 15. I got a 15. What do I add anything to
You have
that? or-
advantage on the attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
You roll 2d20s. You got a 15.
Yep.
15 plus your attack modifier. You have one. Are you using this?
I don't know. Let's see.
Use your strength and your proficiency modifier.
Oh, well, I mean, in my strength I have +1, and my proficiency is +2.
So +3 to the attack.
Yeah.
So that 15 turns into an 18. Now roll a second d20 and see if you can roll higher.
I got a 10 on that one.
Okay, so you take the 15.
I'll let you.
The 15 is still a hit. So as you fly through the air, you come crashing down. Your blade sinks into this thing. Roll me some damage.
Okay. It'll be a 1d6 plus 2. Let me get my d6 here. 6.
All right. That was 6 on the die or 6 total?
Nope. 6 total.
Okay. Yeah, you dig into that as it at this point manages to bite through the vines and screams out in pain. Its roar echoes across the forest.
Okay.
With that, we're going to move to Lyle.
Oh, please tell me that 15 gets me out of that.
DC 14.
Yep. Your panic breaks through the vine as the plant life seems to be focusing all of its energies on this gorilla. You manage to slip out.
I quickly jump up, and while still fighting for breath, I'm just like triumphantly holding my one arm in the. I made it. I'm out, and then I'm going to quickly run away if I have any movement left.
Yeah, you manage to kind of jump and waddle your way through and trip over a time or so on your way to the outskirts of this plant growth, where you see your companions surrounding this this gorilla.
Okay, so do I still get an action, or
No, that breaking free was your action.
okay? That's what I thought.
And that would bring us to Haru.
All right. How's this thing looking?
Well, it was extremely mad at you, but it's still being overtaken by whatever fear has befallen it.
But
It's
like, how battered is it looking?
as far as you can tell, not very. I mean, your claw marks dug in a little bit. Laurelyn's blade definitely bit into its back haunches a little bit, but it still looks very much a threat.
All right. Does it have 2 arms or 4?
It has 4 arms.
4 arms. Yeah, it's going to be dangerous. So what Haru is going to do is use his movement and acrobatics to leap over behind it.
Okay.
So like a one hand spring on top of it to behind it. Not too good. I got a 10 total.
Yeah, you attempt to launch yourself off the back and land on your feet, but you kind of lose your footing and are not in a real great position where you end up. You overshoot it a little bit, and now you have to close the distance if you want to start the thing.
So I went too far. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, you kind of tripped and fell backwards a little bit.
Okay. Can I use the rest of my movement to close the distance?
Of course.
All right. So once I'm behind it, at this point, I want to grapple it, grab 2 of its arms, and like bring them back around, and then push up until I pop them out of its sockets.
Okay. All 4 arms are encased in these vines.
Yep.
So make a attack roll.
Attack roll. All right. Would it be advantage then still?
Yes.
All right. So that'll be a 19.
No. You need to go brush your teeth and get ready for bed, okay? Go.
So
that was a 19?
That was a 19.
All right, yeah. Roll me some damage for that as you grab his arms and rip them towards you. You hear a couple of pops and snaps.
Full 7 on one attack, first attack.
Okay.
Okay.
This is just going to be one attack.
Yeah, this is first attack.
Oh, you get 2 attacks?
Well, yeah, one with my bonus action. I was going to do the same. Like, I'm just kind of splitting it up. Like, one arm, I'm trying to break it, pull it out of its socket, and then I'm going to go to the other arm.
Yeah, it cricked and popped, but it also broke free from the vines itself.
Okay.
Now the second one?
And second one. So that'll be a 24 to hit and 4 damage.
All right, that was the other set of arms, or still
like,
working on that?
I'm saying like 1 and 2 arms.
Okay.
So it's like I like focus on one arm, just rip it back, try to pop it out of its socket, and then grab the other one and pull one after another.
Okay, yeah, you've broken this set of arms away from the vines, and you did hear some creaking and some popping of the arms, but you're not sure if you actually accomplished in disabling it or not.
Okay. Well, I tried.
Galvin.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close the distance, doing a run and jump,
Okay.
and I'm going to get within 10 feet of it. I'm going to
Okay.
use poison spray.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Galvin is not exactly used to this kind of athletic endeavor, right?
I have 16 dexterity.
There's dexterity, but there's strength. You have 14 strength, which is pretty tough for a
Okay.
wizard.
Okay.
What
Proceed.
kind of wizard are you?
He's got that bolt magic.
You need a roll.
I guess he's a stone cutter.
Yeah. Roll me a athletics check to land on your feet.
Let's see. Athletics, that would be dexterity roll.
No, athletics is strength.
Okay, that's going to be 10.
Okay. Yeah, you stumble as you land in this patch of plant life that's kind of writhing and trying to pull the gorilla down. But you manage to stay on your feet.
Okay, so this isn't an attack. This is a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
So what's your DC?
That's going to be 13. So it has to make a 13 DC.
Okay. What are we doing?
Constitution. 13 DC 13 Constitution saving throw. 13 poison damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it rolled a 16.
Okay.
So the spray hits it and it just like sneezes out the poison. It doesn't really take effect.
Okay. And that's all I got. I'm not being very effective right now.
All right. So, Haru, you feel a surge of strength through this thing as it rips its arms out from your claw and pushes against the ground. And as it does so, it rips itself up completely free from the vines, and all four arms break free and spread out. This thing is massive even for you. It is now free, all four arms completely working as it turns around to eyeball you.
All right.
Beacon, we are down to you.
All right. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to try to cast Bane on it.
Okay.
It's a DC 12 Charisma save.
Yeah, that's going to be a 2.
All right. So for the next minute, you have to roll 1d4 and subtract that from the value for attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay. Do I roll it before every roll, or do I roll it now? And that number is for all rolls.
Let's see.
I don't think the rules specify like every roll, but you can do whatever.
Okay.
It says
Okay.
whenever a target that fails saving throw must make an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends. Target must roll a d4.
Okay. Sounds good. And where are you in comparison to everybody?
I am,
Nowhere near it. He's on top of the overlook still.
yeah, I'm up the hill away from the entangled vines.
Okay. Shit.
But I'm still within 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, you hear a loud rustle as you turn around. You see a second creature that comes bounding out from behind a tree and spear tackles you off the edge of this thing. The rest of you hear this crash and a oof as Beacon is lifted off the ground, and a second goblin gorilla on top of him, and they both hit the ground hard and roll away. The second one rolls to its feet and stands up, ready for another attack.
Okay.
What were these two a second ago? I could have got them too. Jerks.
And are there two
Now
total
there's-
now,
Now
or
there's two. Now there's two.
okay? There's just two total now.
Just two total.
All right.
Laurelin, it is your turn.
So there's two of them now?
Yep, both of them are free from the vines that are starting to kind of writhe forward.
Okay. Is there anyone in front of me? Like any of my party members or?
Yeah, Haru is standing opposite of the gorilla as you.
Technically have flanking.
Yes, and Galvin is standing behind you, or
Okay.
near
On
you.
the side.
Okay. And the one that I stabbed earlier, that's
Directly in front of you.
all right. I want to try to stab it again.
Okay.
Let me roll. Oh no! I rolled a natural 1.
Oh no! I have advantage though, because I'm flanking it.
Yes, you do have advantage.
Take it.
So okay. I rolled an 18 that time.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you bite deep into this thing.
Roll.
Roll me some damage.
Okay, hold on. 7.
7.
Nice.
Yeah, your blade digs deep into this the back of this thing as it just opens up a laceration. You can see the raw meat underneath the fur just kind of open up.
Does it scream?
Yes, it does.
Laurelin's gonna scream with it.
It kind of lurches forward a little bit with the impact of that hit. Clearly in pain, two of its arms are trying to reach around to swat away whatever is biting into its back. Lyle, you see Laurelin is bit deep into this thing, and you see a second one that had tumbled to the ground with your new acquaintance Beacon. Beacon is still on the ground, trying to shake the fog from his head from that impact. What would you like to do?
So is there one of them that's standing over Beacon right now?
He kind of rolled off of Beacon and rolled a little bit. He's probably maybe 10 feet from Beacon.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is kind of letting the anger see through me of what's taken place so far during this encounter and all of my bad luck. I am going to focus all of my negativity at the goblin gorilla and cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Which one?
And so you'll see me like, it almost looks like I'm muttering to myself, but I'm whispering something, and I'm obviously, if I could stare a hole through the goblin gorilla. But it's got to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage. And then must immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed away from me.
So 3d6?
Yes, since there's two of them, are you doing it to the one that grabbed you or the one that's got Beacon?
The one that's with Beacon.
Okay.
So it failed. 6. It's 2. It's 5. So we got a total of 13.
Mhm.
And it. What kind of damage is this? This is psychic damage?
Psychic. And
Alright.
it has to immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed away from me.
All right, this thing starts to like shake its head and kind of paw at it, almost like it's just being stung by 1,000 bees. And rakes and claws. It even opens its own flesh with its claws, trying to bat away whatever is attacking it. And in a sheer panic, it runs off, beating its own face into the trees. You still hear it running through, but it's not a threat right now.
Attack of opportunity on it.
Okay. Also, I'd like to use my Bardic Inspiration bonus action.
Okay.
And I'd like to focus that towards Haru.
Oh, that's right. It's not the one on attack.
Okay, so
I kind of yell out a hoorah, little words of encouragement after I did that.
Okay, right.
all right.
You had to remind me that.
Roughnecks.
Yeah, just 1d6.
So 1d6 inspiration for Haru.
Yes.
Okay. And I can only
Excellent.
apply it to like attack rolls, not damage, correct?
Yes.
You can roll the die and add the number to any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay. Nice, nice.
All right, and that's my
Excellent.
turn.
All right, Haru.
Okay.
Feeling
So
mighty inspired.
yeah. How hurt is this thing looking now?
It's looking pretty hurt.
All right. I'm gonna try my finisher on it. Gonna get some karmic vengeance here. Haru,
RKO out of nowhere.
Haru is going since Lorland's still flanking it. He's going to run up with his hands, stick them both in its mouth, and try to rip its lower jaw off. Kind of like King Kong it.
Nice. Please get this.
Okay. I'm going to use inspiration on that roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still not very good. So 7.
Aw.
So 12 to hit. That's going to miss, right?
Yeah, it's gonna miss.
All right. Well, fortunately, I only rolled a 1 for that one. So my other attack got a 18 to hit and 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, as you reach in, you put your claws into this thing's mouth and try to like pry its jaw off of its skull. You fail pretty miserably at that as the teeth snap down on your fingers, almost taking the tips of them with it. And almost in retaliation, you would spin around and do kind of a backhanded punch across this thing's face.
Yeah.
It knocks it back. The impact does as it twirls around. Galvin, you see this thing kind of losing its footing as it's unintentionally lurching right at you.
Okay. I'm going to.
Good shocking grasp.
Yeah, I'll do shocking grasp.
And you took like every attack cantrip.
Well, he gave me a lot to choose from.
I'll just take like one attack cantrip, alt utility, and then fill in with whatever.
15 to hit.
15 hits.
Okay, that's going to be 3 damage.
Again.
It's not wearing metal, so it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Okay, so describe how you killed this thing.
So I get the kill. I basically, it's lunging towards me. I put my hand into its face and its eye region, and I basically fry it.
All right. Yeah, the rest of you see the body of this thing twitch and jerk and tense up. The fur, I can imagine, would start to smoke a little bit as this as this thing fries to death in the grasp of your wizard friend here. As the spell ends, this thing starts to fall. Why don't you make me a dex save to keep from this thing landing on top of you? Galvin?
It's going to be a 12.
Yeah, okay. This thing starts to fall, and there's no hope of you holding this massive body up. As it starts to crumble down on top of you, you barely manage to swipe it off as it falls completely dead, and ceases to move. It would have been that's turn. He is dead now, so we'll move to Beacon. You still hear the other one rushing away from you through the trees.
Can I see it, or just?
You can just hear it at this point. The tree coverage and the undergrowth is fairly thick right here.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only one left, correct?
Yeah, that's the only one that you guys are aware of.
All right, I'm just going to hold my action in case it decides to turn around and see what everyone else does.
Okay, John, what is the duration of that?
It's just instantaneous.
I mean, the fear effect is just instantaneous?
Yeah. So I could only assume on its next turn it can come back towards
Come back if it wants to.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Deacon, you would hear it running and running, and then silence. Now everything around you is just dead quiet. We're gonna fall out of initiative order for the time being.
All right.
What would you guys like to do?
Haru looks down at the vines, kind of like shuffles his feet a bit. That was a pretty good choice.
I plop down on the ground in an overly dramatic manner. Just kind of roll my eyes.
Laurelyn's gonna shake her scimitar just once, getting all that blood off it. Kind of smirks.
Okay.
And Beacon gets closer to the group, just in case something else decides to jump in.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to ask.
Haru's going to laboriously plod through the vines.
Okay. It's
And
fairly easy now,
Yeah,
as the
cool.
magic's keeping these things above ground, and just left it, and they're kind of just there now. It's not too difficult to get out of.
Yeah, the plants, they should have wilted away.
Okay, that's what you see
They
now.
probably last for a minute or something, unless you dismiss them.
Can I dismiss them?
Yeah, and
I don't want to see
Almost.
hurt my vines.
almost magically they would just wilt and turn black and crumble into dust.
Wait, couldn't you have done that during combat?
Yep.
Oh my god. You're so fired.
But did you die?
I could have.
But you didn't.
I see how you guys really feel. I get it. Got Haru saying it's okay if I die. You're entangling me. Galvin's trying to set me on fire.
Well, I did.
What kept you from getting eaten?
Galvin,
If you got knocked out, Beacon could heal you to full health. I wouldn't really be concerned. He was going to wait for that to happen to me.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
gives you a little taste of the other side real quick. Galvin, you would look down and kind of brokenheartedly see that however many thousands of years this place has stood, this once magnificent mosaic is just utterly destroyed during this fight.
A single tear falls down my face.
You're following as much as you can of the design towards the outer ring of it, and it all ends right into the hill where this cave has been exposed next to what remains of a pretty torn up work camp. It looks maybe 4 or 5 people were here at one point, and it appears that they we're exposing this cave and perhaps exploring what lie beyond.
So does it look like Explorers League camp?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Maybe they got a banner up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a perception roll?
Yes, you can.
Not very good, but that's going to be...
It's alphabetical.
Yeah, I just got a 6. Wasn't very well.
I mean,
with my eyes are full
It's
of
dark.
tears.
And it's dark. You technically would have.
it is dark. It is dark. But you easily recognize League equipment.
Yeah.
Not much else, but the place is just torn all to hell. Whoever's here has been long gone, and it looks like perhaps these gorillas or perhaps some of the smaller cousins, the monkey goblins, really tore this place up.
Does it look like we have a decent, there's a decent enough spot here for camp?
As safe as you're probably going to get outside of town.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go back to where we had stopped initially to recover our stuff. If you guys want to make camp here really quick, and we can continue our rest. Does anyone want to come with me on the walk?
I guess I'll go and collect the equipment.
Okay.
Laurelin will.
Anybody else?
No. Lyle just kind of points out that he's just going to hang back.
Okay. So, Haru, Galvin, and Laurelin are going to walk. Well, I guess we'll do a fast walk. Kind of huff it back through the trees to get to any of the supplies, backpacks, and stuff that we had dropped in our haste, and carry that stuff back with us to the mural.
Make a survival check to refine the location.
All right.
And Beacon's hanging back too, just in case.
Okay.
Cold buddy system.
All right. So that's a 22.
22. Okay, yeah, you easily find the remains of where you had camped and the remainder of your gear. You all pick it up and start hoofing it back to the new camp.
Glad I took the
So now you find yourselves late into the night. Okay, my dude.
Like,
I believe it. I know. You gotta leave it on there for. Yeah.
Haru mumbles something about not being able to sleep, and he volunteers to take first watch.
I did that.
Ready for bed.
This first watch.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to sleep it off.
Probably should have used some key points.
All right, sorry about that. So yeah, the second gorilla goblin seems to have learned its lesson as to not to mess with whoever you are, because Lyle scared the Jesus out of it with his stare. And the rest of the night goes by fairly uneventfully as the sun peeks over the horizon in the east. A new day dawns.
Okay. So we all took turns. Everyone's fully rested, and we're going to inspect. Since we have daylight now, we're going to inspect the state of this Explorers League camp.
I begin rekindling the fire and putting on some water because I want to make myself some tea before I do anything today.
Okay. So a fire has been started. Anybody that cares to give me an investigation check as far as
Haru's going to go rustle up some food, just like forage. You get like small rodents or something for breakfast. So survival for that. Not so good. 7.
Okay, yeah. Haru's gone for the next hour and a half or so. As Galvin and Laura Beacon, are you investigating the campsite?
Yeah, I got a 3. So I'm
Yeah.
basically just rubbing my eyes. Can't really see anything.
Okay.
Could I do an investigation check?
I got an 8.
Okay.
Please don't fail. Oh, that's good. 23.
All right. While Laura and Beacon are kind of just flippantly looking over stuff, you put your investigative skills to the test and find in one of pillows in the destroyed tents. It's kind of molded at this point. It's got dirt and shit covering it. So the cloth tears pretty easy. And you find a journal on the inside of it. As you read it, it's detailing Lord Ashcroft. This journal belonged to him. What he thought might be around this site is some kind of a holy site for an ancient civilization. He's not sure of any kind of answers, but he decidedly written how promising it was to find this site. And a couple of days into it, it just, how the work was going, some of the crew's attitudes and this and that. Nothing super helpful, but you come away with knowledge that this is, to your knowledge, the last known location of Lord Ashcroft.
But he hid he hid the journal inside of his pillow.
He did. You see kind of a lace, a leather strap laced through the edge of the pillow. That's where he kept his journal, I guess, away from prying eyes.
Yes, I'll inform the others I found the journal. Is there anything else of importance?
Not really. Just the pages are kind of moldy. This has been here in the elements for a while now.
Restore it,
Yep.
maybe.
I'll just what do I have? Yeah, I have mending. Does that work?
That'll restore it. I could potentially restore its integrity.
I'll just use mending, and then I'll use prestidigitation to clean it.
Do you have to roll anything for mending, or
No.
okay?
It just repairs rips and small damage.
Okay, so yeah, some of the pages kind of work themselves back together, but it doesn't undo the weather damage. That's still going to be a problem in prestidigitation. It will wipe off some of the dust and whatnot, and it's cleaner, but it's still heavily damaged.
Yep.
Well, you did what you could. I think it takes like a 2nd level spell for like full restoration or something.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have that.
Not yet.
Not quite.
Clean it off, put it in my backpack. I'll see if there's anything else. Like, is there a hidden compartment on like the last one?
Oh, no, not that you can. This seems to be just kind of like a field journal, notating how the work is going, discoveries, his thoughts on the project, and that kind of thing. Nothing he was particularly trying to hide from prying eyes in his writing. So there's nothing there, unlike the last one.
Do they have like better chance of better map of the area?
Not that you found.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if he left his journal here, he left in a hurry. Am I able to tell if like the camp was disturbed, as like maybe they were ambushed or attacked or anything like that? Maybe any personal items on the ground?
Yeah, everything is kind of scattered at this point.
Disheveled.
You're almost certain that a bunch of stuff is missing. Any kind of food items that may have been left behind has long ago rotted. But little personal effects and clothing and the tents themselves were all ripped up and knocked down. Beds overturned. Nothing really survived the ransacking of this. Didn't notice any kind of a struggle though. There's no signs of there's no old blood. There's no signs that there was any kind of a struggle at all here.
In at least 3 months anyway. So
Yep.
any blood would probably get washed away.
Well, you
Yeah,
should
I mean it's been a very long time.
Well, you said there's a cave, right?
Right next to the thing, in great detail. What's going through?
Right.
What's going through? What do you hope to find? This fallen tower base that he was looking for. He's fairly certain somewhere in this area, and was very excited about the cave itself.
So shall we go spelunking?
Yeah, I'd like to cast Dancing Lights and go ahead and summon several spheres of light and go ahead and send them into the cave entrance, just so we can kind of have a good look around.
Okay. A quick 5 minutes so that you guys can use the restroom or whatever, get drinks. And I'm going to put a stubborn boy down a bit.
All right, cool.
Be back in 5 days.
All right, same then.
Put my arm around Harlan's shoulder and say, "Come on, let's go into this dark cave." Not like anything bad's gonna happen.
I don't think she's there.
I'm back.
Oh, perfect timing. Well, I guess I couldn't show off.
Did I miss something?
No, in the fight. I couldn't. I tried to show off and it didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna win every fight like that, I guess.
Ugh. We're going into a cave.
Cave.
Caves. Why does it always have to be caves?
You missed the last cave we went into.
Yeah, but Laurelyn don't like caves very much.
Oh, well. I don't think Haru has returned back to your camp yet. He's still fruitlessly trying to find some kind of food. Scavenge it up. I rolled low.
Okay. We forgot to mention that we would heal your hand.
My hand. I didn't take any damage technically.
Yeah, but it did almost bite your fingers off.
Almost.
I took no damage from that.
Yeah, he didn't say you took damage. We'll just say we healed you.
Last night, sure. Use a first level spell slot. So the dice tower is working out for you pretty well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm back. Sorry.
Same here.
No worries.
The dice tower is like really awesome. And it's handling my metal dice perfectly.
Oh, I thought since it's magnetic, it'd cause some troubles.
No. Like the pieces, like when you assemble it, it's all magnetic. And then when you're done using it, you take it apart and it fits into the dice tray itself, and then it wraps up with a leather strap. And it carries everything, including your dice vault.
Hmm.
Is really nice. It's like the size of a, I don't know, like a pencil box almost, kind of. Like a decent sized pencil box.
Yeah, I saw how it is on wormwood.com. Or their Kickstarter page, rather.
Let me see if I can show you pictures of mine.
It's like a gaming luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I would have never been able to afford one of these. The fact I still can't believe I won this.
That's what It does good. It does a pretty good job.
That's what I got. It's decent.
Of course, I didn't take one that turns side to side. It's not as maneuverable as yours. But the one you got's on sale.
That's the one I'm looking at.
Mhm.
I don't know what you're supposed to do with the clip, though. I mean, it kind of works, but not that well.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
Thanks.
Welcome back, adventurer.
Right.
Alrighty.
It's weird being the only people with like video feed going in, aside from Jason.
Eventually. I'll turn on my camera. I'm camera shy. Big time.
I don't even have a camera set up to this PC at the moment, so
No, it's all good. That part's not like super required, so
The
Yes.
webcam I'm using right now is actually on sale on Newegg.
Really,
Actually,
what?
no sponsor. It's $35 right now. It's normally 60.
you can get a better one than this one I got here. Its
Yeah.
focus is really annoying.
Yeah. Can you like link the one that you got? Cause
It looks pretty nice, huh?
yeah, you guys is like crystal clear.
That's the one. Guess I'll put it in chat.
Yeah.
yeah, I need to try to figure out a way to mount mine to the middle of my monitor mount. So it sits between my two monitors I've got set up.
Yeah.
crystal clear, but it's also wide. Its aspect ratio is wider screen.
Should be a way to.
Oh, well, you don't need to see any more of my husband's messy chaos
And
behind
that's
him.
why I put this thing up.
What are you talking about?
The chaos that I try to organize that you get so mad at me about.
So he's got everything where he wants it.
So you're saying this got a wide
There's a place for
aspect
everything.
area.
Everything has its place.
No.
Ordered chaos.
No. You can't handle that. It's like my guild bank. Like when it started getting chaotic, I couldn't handle it.
All right, so let's jump right back into it. Lyle has cast Dancing Lights and sent the glowing orbs into the cave.
That is correct. What are we able to see?
You see a short distance of kind of compact tunnel that opens up. It looks like it goes off to the left, then opens up into a larger area, not far underground.
And I think Haru is still going to be gone for like another 45 minutes at least.
Well, we should have someone keep watch. Laurelyn probably wants to stay out of the cave for as long as possible.
Laurelyn is nowhere near that cave. She is talking to the grass right now.
I relinquish my spheres of light and kind of make my way back to the camp and inform everyone else about the it branching off.
Okay. So
We'll wait.
you guys are talking amongst yourselves, and Galvin, you've been reading over the journal, trying to see if you can find anything hidden within the writing itself. Ashcroft was a clever guy, but you don't really find much success on that. And about that time, Haru unsuccessfully returns with no wildlife.
At least some berries or roots or something.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
I made tea. You can have some if you want it.
Haru looks grumpy.
Oh.
Goes over, prods at the gorilla goblin, sniffs its flesh.
Can we eat?
Awful.
Oh, don't do that, Haru. Don't do that.
Did Laura just ask if you can eat it?
Well, I mean, I've seen Haru hangry before, and I don't want to deal with it again.
Yeah, all but the most foul creatures, trolls and other goblins, and some giants and the like. That most sentient creatures stay away from flesh. You're not sure why, but there has to be some reason. So the group stands at the entrance to this cave and the remainder of this camp. Beacon, why don't you tell me what's going through your head?
Just wondering what's going to be in this thing compared to the last cave I was in. And making a mental note to myself to stay away from any pools of water.
Yeah, you didn't fare so well that last time.
No. And I kind of fumble around with the ring of water movement. Just getting a little nervous.
Haru's going to look among the rest of his party. Was anyone else more prepared than I was and packed some food?
Yep.
Laurelyn did.
I have food.
ration. He'll eat like the third of it for breakfast. And after that, he notices everyone except Laurelin, really, eyeing the cave and looking like they want to go in. He's going to glance over at Laurelin. And he'll go, place a hand on her shoulder, kind of encourage her to stand up, and take her a little bit away from the rest of the group so we can talk to her in private.
Laurelin follows quietly.
So Haru, after they're a short distance away and unlikely to be heard, Haru drops his voice and says, I know you have severe misgivings about going underground, and it's for good reason, but we're going to be heading in there, and if you really want to, you can stay here or return to camp. I would encourage you, however, to gather your courage and face your fear without hesitation. If it helps, think of this as a practice run so that you can get accustomed to being underground again and eventually take revenge on those who wronged you.
Laurelin kind of lifts her head quickly when she hears the word revenge. Her eyes kind of light up. And she stands up and just she just nods. And she's like, you're right. You're right.
And if at any point in there you feel like you just have to get out and take some breaths of fresh air, we can move out.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
he offers his hand.
She takes it. Stay close, please. I can't get lost in there again.
And they'll walk hand in hand back to the rest of the group.
Laurelin's ready to kick some ass. Good pep talk. Good pep talk.
So the group stands ready. How do you want to enter this place?
As I get up from the log of rock I was sitting on next to the campfire, I just kind of dust myself off and look at everyone else, and I say, right, well then, if we could not throw me under the wagon this time, I'm definitely not going first.
I'll go first.
Haru raises his doesn't really have eyebrows, I suppose, because
forehead.
Yeah. He's surprised.
Haru's forehead wrinkles a little bit.
First, huh? All right. Slaps Galvin on the back.
He goes,
I can
I've got
appreciate
range. If there's anything in there, I see it first, I'm going to zap it.
I'll be right behind you.
Yep.
But if we come to any narrow tunnels, probably not going to be able to squeeze behind me.
Okay, I'm going to use dancing lights. I'll put them ahead of me, and I'm going to start walking forward.
Okay.
And I will take up the rear.
Okay.
Laurelin's behind Haru.
And Lyle, you would fall right in front of Beacon?
Mind the tail.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll brandish my rapier as we enter the cave.
Can I hold on your tail?
Fine. Haru normally drags his tail around behind him, but
Excellent.
he'll put some extra effort in to lift it up like his mom told him to.
So much Lyle had discovered on his brief little film, the cave itself goes into the mountain face, and curves a little bit, and not far into it, branches off to the left almost straight ahead, but slightly to the right, opens up into a larger cavernous chamber. What strikes you is not far into it. Most of the normal stone kind of gives way to this strangely iridescent crystalline mineral that is making up almost the entirety of the cave of this chamber. It goes as far as you can see, about 100 feet in front of you, where it's maybe about 20, 30 feet wide. Not very tall, but it seems like a natural cavern that you've walked into.
Okay. Yes. How many entrances to this cavern are there that we see? Like a large opening, you said?
Yeah, it kind of like opens up. The elevation is a little higher than the tallest of you. It's not very tall as far as opening, and from this side, if there's an not as some of the outcroppings kind of shadow behind the dancing lights.
Right. But you said it's iridescent, so it kind of like it's not completely dark.
No, it's not completely dark, but the shadow play within it is kind of messing with you. Dark vision, except for do what else have?
Yeah.
What else? And tieflings have dark vision. Humans and Dragonborn do not.
All right, so yeah, you can see to the other side, Beacon and Laura, but you're not sure if there's an opening down there or not. What you do see is a whole mess of both tiny and larger bones broken and scattered across the floor here.
Laurelyn's gonna say that there's bones everywhere.
Looks like someone's a messy eater.
May have been the gorillas or.
Are we able to determine if they're human bones?
Give me an investigation check. Anybody that cares to.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously not skilled enough to discern. I rolled a 5.
18.
Those are bones.
I was gonna check medicine, but Sam Galvin got an 18.
I got 14.
Okay. Yeah, after kicking, because a lot of them are just scattered about, disconnected from anything that would have been a skeletal structure. Galvin, you find at least one recognizable humanoid femur.
Okay. Well, I don't have any way really. I do have identify, but I don't think that would work.
You want to kind of save that for magical things, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. We know it's a human femur, but I don't know.
You don't want to know who it necessarily belongs to.
Well, humanoid, not necessarily human. Could be elf. Could be dwarf. Could be dragonborn.
What's it smell like in there?
Musty, almost coppery.
Could Haru try a medicine check to try identifying the femur, like what race it is or was?
Yeah, you can attempt to at a disadvantage.
Okay. I rolled a 17 and a 16, plus 1, since I don't have proficiency in it, so 17.
Okay. So you
My study's been paying off.
are, and you're right, John. My camera is kind of ass. Yeah, you identify this as a human.
Okay.
Femur,
Definitely human, just like the textbooks.
and you'll notice where the end of the bone had been kind of gnawed off, and some of the marrow is just sucked right out of it.
Yeah, something ate it.
It got it.
Haru just drops the bone. Disinterested at this point.
Okay, I mean, so this is like an animal cave. Like, would Laurelin recognize that this is a
Something
like animal type dwelling?
Yeah, I keep going in.
Yeah, you would. It doesn't look like a dwelling so much as just a place where something decides to safely eat its prey.
Yeah, most likely the gorilla goblinoid things.
Maybe. The passage
Maybe so.
is narrow enough to keep them getting in.
Right. Well, we're looking for the tower base, right? That's what the journal said is supposed to be here in this cave.
Yes, that was what was in the professor's journal.
All right.
All right. Well, let's press on, yeah.
How would you like to press on? Would you like to go to the end of this little cavern here, or would you like to go back to the fort?
We're already this way. Let's keep going.
And we're not able to see anything that would remotely resemble a tower base here in this cavern where we're at, right?
No, nothing.
Okay.
And you said we couldn't discern any other paths in here, correct?
Now, if you guys took go down to the end of the cavern, it looks like there may have been an opening at that end, but it had caved in. There's a bunch of fallen, broken crystalline rock spilling out into the end of this place.
Can I use mold earth to move the rock out of the way?
Strangely, does not work on this crystal.
Interesting. I'm going to pick up a sample.
Okay. It doesn't look like any stone that you've ever encountered. As a matter of fact, give me a straight up intelligence check.
Okay. That's going to be a 19.
A 19. Okay, yeah, you are almost 100% that this thing this substance is not of this world.
Right, like meteor.
Mm-hmm.
As Lyle's watching him inspect that, he's going to reach down and grab himself a small chunk of it, something like pendant size he could put on a necklace.
Okay, and the glow is kind of creepy. It's not very bright at all, but it's not constant. It's almost like an electrical current that flows through the rock unceasingly.
Character. Theronite.
I'll tuck it beneath my tunic.
That's a terrible. Okay.
It's the curse of Goblin Island, man. You're gonna turn into a goblin. We're gonna have to put you down.
You have to watch, see if his grin kind of like starts spreading. All right, so we're at the end of this. Gallon, your mold earth doesn't seem to affect this crystalline substance.
And it's blocked.
correct. You would, to your expertise, you couldn't begin to fathom the amount of time that it would take to try to clear the way, if it was even possible, without a further cave-in.
Mhm.
I'm just going to turn my camera off because that's making me dizzy.
And then there was one pair of players with their camera on.
Yeah, I think this thing is starting to die, honestly. I've tried to mess with settings. I can't get it to stop doing this autofocus. I think that's what it's trying to do, but I can't get it to stop.
We'll get you a new one for the next game.
So no way forward here. We have to look for another way around.
I say we
We'll
go
go back to the fork and then take the corridor.
We'll take the other fork.
Okay, you make your way back there, and it goes on for quite a ways, and it starts to go down and winds around.
That's how you successfully railroad, folks.
That's not necessarily so. There's a lot you could have done there.
Fireball, 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 fireball.
You're saying it'd take forever to move it by hand without causing a cave-in, and mold earth doesn't work.
As far as you can tell.
Is this rock?
Well, we might have been able to like entangle like the area and try to keep it steady, and then like try to move it.
Is it arcane?
The last thing I try doing is before we leave is I take my pickaxe up against the wall of the cave-in, and I just like do a knock like a pattern of something that would be indistinguishable between like randomness.
Something that would be distinguished.
Yep.
Yeah, with each strike of the crystal, are you hitting it hard, or are you just kind of like knocking at it,
I'm
trying
tapping.
to chip it? Okay, each impact sends like a light ripple across the entire room. It's like watching a pebble hit a lake surface, but it goes out like a 3-dimension. It hits the wall, the floor, the ceiling. All of it does. It just bounds out for breaking its circular pattern.
Like a spider web.
Okay.
Laurelyn says that out loud. Just comes out naturally. Like a spider web.
And you come through the tunnel, which widens out into another larger cave area, and this is lower than when you entered. So you're moving down a little bit, and this opens up where it appears that there are 4 different distinct patterns or cavern entrances along the right side. The first 2 being kind of small. The third one is very wide. The entire party could enter it shoulder to shoulder with no problem. And then there is a crystalline, like kind of natural pillar towards the end that bends around. Behind it, bends around into a further tunnel that narrows down.
So there's 3 tunnels this time.
Mm-hmm. The ceiling of this place is kind of opened up too. Just it goes higher than the other one did.
I see
And if we
anything?
tap the wall, it will send a ripple through and light up the area as we go.
Theoretically, yes.
Well, just tap the wall.
But what
Okay.
if this is letting something else know that we're here?
That's a possibility, I agree.
And as he tapped the wall, the same effect happens. This ripple goes out. Every single one of you, give me a perception check.
12.
14.
9.
9.
16.
21.
All right, the tiefling and the wood elf with their dark vision. The ripple goes up and into the ceiling, which goes a lot higher than you had originally thought. And you catch just the slightest sight of 4 shadows held up there.
Laurelyn's gonna grab Haru's tail, and she's just gonna give it a squeeze and get his attention and point up.
He looks back at you, curious, and then when you indicate up, he just glances up.
She's gonna whisper, "There's something up there."
I could send a flare.
Multiple somethings.
What was that, Beacon?
I said multiple somethings.
Yes. How big are they? Can we tell?
It's hard to tell.
Oh.
It was just the briefest glimpse.
Out of character. They're about the size of a sturge.
I don't know what it is. It sounds like it'd be terrible.
It sounds like it would be terrible.
Okay, I have an idea. How about we all just kind of back up a little bit? What I'll do is I'll cast Silent Image, right?
Okay.
To look like me. And then I will summon some dancing lights and only use one sphere and put it overhead. And then I will send the Silent Image down ahead of us to kind of use it as bait or distraction. That way we can kind of get the jump on anything if it attacks us.
All right.
What do you think?
We could try that, or we could just fire a flare up there and see what happens.
No, let's
Well, let me just go ahead and back up then, if that's what you guys are going to do.
Let's do what?
We'll do the distraction first.
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
The question is dancing light and the illusion both concentration?
That's a good question. Silent Image is concentration up to 10 minutes.
Dancing light's not concentration.
It's not?
Shouldn't be. Oh, yeah, it is. I guess we'll just have to have the wizard's dancing lights do it.
Yep, I still have dancing lights.
Yeah, okay. There we go. So yeah, I'll summon and create a silent image of myself, like even holding a rapier, and go ahead and send it forward once Galvin summons a sphere.
Yeah, I've worked it out. It's been providing light. I'll just have one of them float over the head of the silent image.
Right. All right. And so I send the silent image down the corridor.
All right. Your silent image materializes and starts walking through the chamber. How far do you want it to go? Do you have to keep sight of it? I would guess so, for concentration reasons.
I think you can only move a certain number.
You can use your action to cause the image to move to any spot in range.
So he can't walk all the way across. Okay, so the thing walks within range and kind of pauses to look around.
Yeah, I want to send it as to try and get directly beneath the creatures that we kind of glanced at.
Okay.
Like I said, to try and see if we can't bait them.
Okay. And looks out and pauses in the light to kind of like make it look like it's looking around, investigating. Do you want to move with it so that it's further, or it stands there for the equivalent of a few minutes and nothing has happened.
All right, yeah, I want to try and see if I can't stealth my way up a good 10 or 15 feet and then send it forward a little bit more. Just as like a last-ditch effort to see if we can do anything about it.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
That is a 13.
13. Okay, yeah, you succeed. You remain hidden as this thing moves underneath where you think these things were, and still nothing.
Okay, I'll release my concentration on the spell and turn back to the party and say I think we'll be okay as long as we don't mess with them.
Laurelyn's gonna whisper, "Don't tap on the wall anymore."
And as Lyle turns around and says, "I think we're going to be okay," everybody roll initiative.
Are you kidding? Oh my god!
Poke. Down the liver.
I got 8.
21.
Wow.
Beacon has 5.
And Laurelyn is putting us all to shame.
Can everybody type that in?
All right. What do you get? Goblin Sturgis. It doesn't take me long to pick up on the theme, man.
Done the flare.
Okay, Laurelyn, you jerk back in fear as you recognize these things were in service to your former enslavers. You never learned a proper name for them. What you all referred to them as was chokers. These things, these rubbery, limbed, aberrant creatures from the depths with webbed hands and feet, and instead of just smooth skin on either one is just barbs coming out from the fingers and the palms and the toes, allowing these things to crawl up and down any surface with relative ease. An almost octopus circular mouth that opens up with rows and rows of teeth that just pull the prey in as it rips its prey apart to devour it.
Okay.
There are 4 of these things that fall down right behind Lyle, and you whip into action. How would you like to do this?
Laurel?
Yep. You got initiative.
Okay. Gosh, they're all behind the bard.
Mm-hmm. They all drop down out of the shadows.
Oh God. Why do you gotta be in the way?
Just target something behind him.
All right. How close is that to me?
Oh, he didn't make it very far, maybe 15 feet or so. Right, Lyle?
Yeah, it was like 10, 15 feet.
More vines.
Thunderwave would be a bad idea. Even though I would say in character her instincts would do that. Like she would just be like, nope.
Isn't it centered on you though?
It says
Underwave is centered on you.
You've done that before.
it says from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You already messed me up with that one time. I'd like to not revisit that.
And everybody around you dropped.
Person.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot cube originating from me.
Yeah.
And so that basically means if you were taking up the center of a 5-foot square, it's everything directly adjacent to you.
The way it works is the caster can be at the edge of that square as well. So it could be projected 15 feet in front of them instead of them being the center of it. They just have to be on a face of it.
But either way you slice it, Lyle's caught in the middle of it. So if we could go ahead and figure something else out here, people, that would be great.
Maybe you could ice knife one of the back ones.
All
Kind of
right.
have this exasperated
All right.
look of no, not again.
Okay. Laurelyn takes account the no, not again look. I would like to do ice knife, but I don't have a card that really tells me what it does.
It splatters on me is what it will do.
You just target
Well,
one of the rear ones there, so it flies past the first row, it hits one in the back, and it'll shatter to his friends up in front, and it won't hit Lyle.
Can I
Okay.
duck? Is that a thing I can do? Can I duck?
course it is.
Can I drop to the ground? Just lay down in a fetal position?
now for
Laying down is not important right now.
for ice knife, like, do I have to roll, or is this like
An attack roll for start.
Okay.
Yeah, so proficiency bonus and your attack ability modifier will be your attack bonus for it.
I pulled it up.
Nice knife.
And I sent it to the chat.
Ah, it's Kanafi.
That's a different one.
Yeah, you make a ranged spell attack.
It's Ice Knife, right?
Yeah.
This one?
Yep, that one.
Okay, yeah, I put it in the chat.
I
Put it
don't see
in
it in the
chat.
chat.
Not the
Can you
not
put
the
it-
chat here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
I
it.
I can't open that chat for some reason right now.
Okay, what you do is make an attack roll. Use your dexterity
All right, hold on.
as the bonus.
Well, you use your proficiency
It's
bonus.
actually not an attack roll, it's a deck save.
Oh,
Yeah, and your character sheet.
No.
No, hold on. It is an attack roll.
Is it?
And then it's a dexterity saving throw for the shatter.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
My bad. So
Well,
it is an
uh,
attack roll, and then after that is the deck save.
well, I
Yes.
rolled a 13. What am I adding to this?
Dexterity and your proficiency bonus.
So I think since you got like
Oh, 4.
For a spell attack, I thought it was her spell casting ability bonus plus her proficiency bonus.
Well, for a spell attack here, it says +6 spell attack.
that's what you
yeah,
had.
there you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you got a
I'm
19.
wrong there. Sorry. So yeah, you rolled a 13 plus a 6, so that's 19. That absolutely hits the choker closing in on Lyle. Roll me 1d10 damage.
No, you don't want the one closing in on Lyle. You want the one behind him.
Yeah, I want the one behind him. Because doesn't this thing explode?
Yeah, like you want it
Mhm.
like hit one of the back ones. So if they're kind of all clustered, you hit one in the rear, it will only shatter to hit the front line.
I'm curled up on the ground kind of beneath them, so they're hopefully going to take the brunt of that anyway. Cowardice for the win.
But yeah,
I got 7.
so you rolled D10 for damage,
Yes.
and then you have a spell save DC of 14 that they all have to make dexterity, and roll 2d6.
Oh, I have to roll 2d6.
Yeah, 2d6.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Let me get those. Let me get my other. Sorry, I'll eventually get all this.
You're good. You're doing good.
Okay. So the 2d6. 8.
Two saved, 2 did not.
So those who saved take half damage. So 4 damage for them, and then the ones who failed take 8 damage.
Is that right?
I think that's right. It's a first level spell. You take half damage. If it's a cantrip and you save, then you take nothing.
It just says those that fail take 2d6.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't say anything about the half damage.
Okay, yeah.
So they have to. You can dodge it.
Yeah, you can dodge it completely then. So those
So,
who
I mean,
take the full.
Okay,
so as I do this, can I yell, I knew this was a bad idea?
Absolutely. I'm screaming the same thing on the ground right now. I'm screaming, don't shoot at anyone in range.
So the one that you hit takes the full brunt of not only the attack itself, but the cold damage from it, and 2 of the others next to him. No, I'm sorry, one of the other ones next to him absolutely does. The one that you hit collapses in this frozen mess, just falls completely dead. The other one flies up. It leaps up as it makes this horrible scream and says something in a language none of you comprehend.
No understand. Right.
I don't speak squid.
There's only one universal language I know.
One of them jumped away. Now, the other 2 lunge forward and slap their hands onto Lyle. They're gonna make.
Poor Lyle.
Help! Oh my God, help me!
Okay.
Jesus. Blathander, I swear if I make it out of here, I'm a changed man. I promise you.
It's a dirty,
No more gambling.
Dirty 20 on. That's a dirty 20 on both of them.
Ooh.
Oh, what?
Well,
So
Yep.
they both hit.
they both hit.
Yeah, they both hit.
Well, why are they dirty?
Unless you have armor classes
Because
like
the-
21.
The bonus
It's
is
a way of saying it's not a nat 20.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I understand it, but that's the first time I've ever heard that before. I like it.
You mean dirty 20s.
You
You
got
dirty 20.
touched by a dirty 20.
Yeah, harder.
So
So got smacked by a pair of dirty 20s.
You guys are seeing a part of Lyle you're not supposed to see right now.
Lyle, these 2 latch down onto you. The force knocks the wind out of you, and these spikes coming out of each hand dig into your chest on either side. You take 10 damage total.
Oh.
As you are grappled, you'll need to make a DC, or you'll need to make an escape roll when it's your turn. They go to drag you up the wall, each one holding you with one hand each as they drag
Jesus.
you up.
Can I struggle or do anything to combat that?
When it's your turn, yes.
Ugh.
The rest of you see them fairly easily drag his ass up 20 feet of wall as they hold him in place and start to pull on him as if they're trying to fight on who's going to devour him. With that, Haru, it's your turn.
All right, so they're 20 feet into the air.
Mm-hmm.
You've
only seen these 2. You've lost sight of the one that got hurt.
Didn't I kill one?
Yeah, you did kill one. It's frozen on the ground.
Haru is going to reach into his belt pouch, pull out 2 darts, pass him. Can he? I don't think he technically can throw 2 unless you. No, I think you can only throw 1. But one's for next round, I guess. And he's going to chuck this at one of them.
Okay.
And then the rest of his movement he's going to use to get directly underneath them and like hold his arms out to potentially catch Lyle when he falls. Not looking good. Unless I get advantage or something because they're trying to drag up a struggling Lyle.
Yeah, no advantage.
Yeah, so that's only a 12 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna miss.
Yeah. So he throws a dart. It kind of whizzes up past one of them and clangs off the wall, sending ripples of lightning through.
Okay. Yeah, they don't make any kind of notice to it. You hear Lyle screaming as they're trying to. They're almost wishboning him at this point. They're jerking him back and forth.
Did that?
He must smell nice. I mean, everything's trying to eat him.
Totally changing my cologne after this adventure. Once we get back to any kind of civilization, I'm changing my cologne.
You have cologne?
With that ripple from the dart, did it reveal where the third one is?
No, it did not.
Okay. Well,
Double check it and see.
I'm going to try helping the best I can by getting a firebolt. I'm going to aim for the one to his left.
Okay.
I would like to begin praying.
Don't worry, Lyle. I'll get you down.
I begin praying
Alamar is
louder
ready to
now.
receive you.
Oh,
Dear Lathander, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away.
that's just going to be that. I missed.
It missed.
Yep. Just a 10.
What was the? Oh, yeah, it absolutely missed.
Oh,
It-
God.
At this point, Haru is looking around. Would it be possible for him to scramble up the wall after them? Or is it really smooth?
No, it's kind of rocky looking. So I mean, you could try.
Use your
Yes.
land lizard powers.
All right, Lyle.
Yeah.
You are suspended between these two aberrant creatures, trying to rip you literally limb from limb right now. Roll me an escape check.
Come on,
All
Lyle.
right, so my attempts at escaping right now is by undressing myself and hoping that I can slip out of my clothes. Oh, I'm not even kidding. That's a nat 20.
All right.
Oh my goodness, in the clutch.
Oh, they hit from the sky.
Probably just ripped off
Oh my god, that's perfect.
that they grabbed onto.
Yeah, the as you try to jerk away from your clothing, the spikes that these things have on their hands have dug into your flesh, but you rip yourself away just out of sheer panic and fall still clothed. And now you're gonna fall. I need you to make.
Actually, Haru's directly underneath him, like with his arms out.
All right.
Okay.
I would
Well,
like to use my reaction to try catching him.
I'm going to try and straighten my body out to where it's not as awkward as it possibly can be.
All right. Dex save from you and Haru. Roll a dex.
It's 14 plus 4, so 18 for me on my dex save.
So I have to make a dex save or a strength save.
A strength save.
So that's a not natural 20.
Excellent. So yeah, he
It's a dirty
easily
one.
position
Was it
yourself.
30?
Y'all never heard that before?
So So I catch Lyle, and before he can kiss me, I like set him down.
You know me too well, Haru. You know me too well.
All right. With that, Lyle's on the ground, scrambling away. Beacon, we're at you.
All right.
Oh, y'all got the belly
I
dancing.
am going to cast my what I'm now going to call Grave Step upon one of these creatures.
I hear laughter in the background.
That's Leah.
It's Leah.
So that's a DC 12 Wisdom save.
Okay.
Man, I got tears over here, man.
All right, so that's a flat 10.
All right, and it's undamaged currently, right?
Yes, that one is undamaged.
All right, so
Both sides of the
it'll
one
take
was damaged.
4 damage. And it
Okay.
hears this.
Dubstep.
I think we broke her.
You did. You broke her.
Ridiculous.
Alright, she's done for.
Oh,
What is it? Well, you need to because it's your turn. Do you want to move, Beacon?
Sorry. I'm calm. Okay.
It's just one laugh fest after another.
Stop. Okay. Let's see. Stop. Jesus, please. I'm dying over here. Come.
Okay, Beacon, do you want to move?
I think I'm good where I'm at.
Okay. Lower Lynn.
Okay.
You've recovered from the hideous laughter spell.
Okay, so I just saw him fall from the sky pretty much. Well, from the ceiling.
Mhm.
Lyle, yes. He was caught by the
And-
heroic Haru.
And were both of them that were up there, were they just damaged or did we find the other one?
Beacon just damaged one of them.
Just one? Okay.
Cast Grave Step on him.
Okay. Could I use Frostbite?
You can use anything you want.
Well, I would like to do that. So, yeah. It doesn't say that I roll anything. Oh, 1d6 damage.
Yeah, the creature you're casting it at has to make a Constitution save.
Yeah.
Or take 1d6 cold damage and have disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Okay, so
Do
do
the
I have to
one that
roll
was
for
damaged
this?
or the one that was undamaged? No, I rolled.
I want to go for the one that is damaged.
Rolled a 4, so he failed and takes the full brunt of it. That was a 6 on the die.
Ooh.
And he freezes up and kind of just lets go of the wall and falls 20 feet flat on his face, and he's dead.
Okay.
So he just kind of just falls.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So they don't
with,
have a lot
with
of
a sickening splat right behind Haru.
All right, hit.
I began checking my cloak and see if there was any kind of splatter effect.
So that should bring us to me. Unless
No, that would be them now. jumps down at Haru.
Okay.
Making an attack. Ew. And you sidestep it, and it hits the ground rolling. It missed its attack and is now kind of moving like a strafing motion, trying to get out from between you and the group. And at that moment, the one that y'all had lost sight of falls down and jumps at Laurelin, who also misses. But I imagine it scares the shit out of you as it lands right in front of you. Its horrible visage right in your face. You can smell its rotten meat breath as it tries to swipe at you and misses. And with that, we're at Haru.
Okay. So the one that's right next to me, Haru is just going to tear into. It's between me and the rest of the group.
Yes.
Does that mean like it's
no?
right?
You're not at flank. It's
All right.
next to you, but there's some distance between you and the others.
All right, fair enough. Just want a clarification on that. So I'm just gonna swipe at it with both my claws, trying to rend it.
Okay.
Well, I got a 24 to hit, which should connect. It does 4 damage.
Absolutely.
And I got an 11, which will probably miss.
Yeah, that misses.
But
How
I'm gonna
much?
go ahead and use my. I'm gonna go ahead and use my second and last inspiration on this thing.
Excellent.
So that'll be a 21 to hit,
Absolutely hits.
and so that'll be a total of 8 damage to it. Slash.
Okay. Yeah, you slash into it. Its rubbery flesh just flays apart. It doesn't even really bleed. There's no blood coming out of it.
Yeah.
It's just this nasty rubber flesh.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Ew.
And do you want to move?
Is it still standing?
Yes, it's still standing.
Haru's going to look concerned at Laurelin, but he's like busy trying to kill this thing in front of him. So I guess I'm going to hold my movement until it's Lyle's turn to kill it, and then Haru's going to run over to flank the one that's on Laurelin.
Okay. Galvin.
Okay. I'm going to use, well, which one's closer to me?
The one that's on Laurelin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use poison spray, so make a constitution check. 13.
That's a 12, so it just failed.
Okay. That's going to be 11 damage.
Okay, this thing gets hit by this splash that just starts completely eating away, and it falls down as it's trying to like get whatever's burning it off of him, and the acid continues to just easily eat through this flesh, and there's no bone exposed as each limb just kind of melts away into this sickening puddle.
Jelly.
And the thing seems to stop moving after a bit. It stops breathing. Its eyes go dead, and it stops all moving. You have successfully killed this thing.
One shot.
Yeah. That was the one in front of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it just like melted before me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now it smells
Yeah,
even
what?
worse.
Yeah. Like this is like rotten fish on top of a porta potty. It's not a good smell.
Oh, that's foul, man.
Ew.
Why?
And do you want to move, Galvin?
Yeah, I'm going to flank the one that Haru is working on.
Okay, you run up and close the distance between you and that one. And Lyle, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm next to Haru, who currently. Are you grappled with one of them right now?
No, he's just.
It's just next to you?
Claws and its flesh flay apart, and it's looking pretty hurt, but not quite dead yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kind of sprint up behind it and just bring my rapier down. 17 plus 4 is 21.
Okay.
I imagine that hits.
Yeah, it is.
1d8. So it's 4 plus 2. 6 damage.
Oh yeah, just describe what happens.
Oh, so I bring my rapier up and kind of turn my wrist to where I just skewer it from the top as far as I can get to the hilt of my rapier.
Okay. Yeah.
And if it squirts any blood, I'd be sure to point it in everyone's direction but my own.
So Haru, you would hear with lightning quick reflexes, Lyle rushes in and brings his rapier down. You would just kind of hear the chink of his sword point as it goes completely through this thing and strikes the ground underneath. This thing just kind of folds up under his power. Its blank eyes staring in complete surprise. Its mouth snapping open and shut slowly until it stops. And you guys have killed these chokers.
Haru nods. Very good. Pats Lyle in the back. You're not completely useless.
Yeah, about that. So I was thinking about maybe tying a rope to my waist and to your tail, so in case something tries to take me again, like there's more resistance, because my abduction seems to be a thing today.
Haru narrows his eyes. I will hold your leash.
Now hold up now. I didn't say anything. Fine, call it what you will, and I just tie a rope around my waist. It's better than getting drug around by monsters.
Yeah, and then I will wrap one end of the rope around his arm.
And Beacon will go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on him. It's only 4 points recovered.
You roll a 4, and your wisdom modifier.
Yep.
Okay.
Back up to 9, thank you, sir.
Do these creatures have any kind of markings to show that they're owned, or they're being would Lorelyn recognize any
No, there's no kind of markings on these things.
Okay, so they're just on their own.
So,
exception of what you just put on them.
Haru's going to check them for anything that resembles goblin features.
No goblinoid features at all.
What is
so
this?
These are free range.
Yeah, free range chokers.
Okay.
And then he's going to look at Lorelyn. You seem to recognize them. Are they wrong in some way? I mean, aside from just existing.
This is how they always look.
Strange.
Kind of looks at him with disgust.
Yeah, so can we get out of here? I don't care which direction, whether back outside or ahead. Preferably back outside, back to civilization. That would be great for me, thanks.
Going forward.
Oh. I just kind of sigh and look ahead into the darkness. Make my way as far back as my leash allows, which I can only assume is back where Lorelyn's at.
Okay, so you guys found yourselves kind of near the that's where they drug Lyle up. As you look, two of the passages, the bigger one, just opens up into another smaller cavern area that seems just kind of fishbowl.
No ways in and out.
No, it doesn't appear that way. What you can't see is the first path from when you entered, where it went, and the one that's directly behind this pillar here. It seems to go sharply down.
So there's two more passages going down. One kind of leads to a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
In the big fishbowl one, could we like inspect the ceiling in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me an investigation check. Give me
That'll be a 17 total.
17? Okay. Yeah, you are 100% that there's nothing else hiding in any kind of dark crevice here. To be the only. Leah, make me a nature check.
Can you say that again? I didn't. You
Please
like...
make a nature roll.
Okay, gotcha. Jesus Christ! I rolled a natural 1.
Okay, yeah, you're not sure what's going on with. You thought that you knew something relevant about these creatures, but it seems to have slipped your mind, and as you remember some of the darker times in your past.
So, the passageway that those creatures were in was pretty much a dead end.
Yeah,
This is
as far as you can tell, this is where they dwell.
okay. So there's two passages left, and they both go winding downward.
Well, you're not sure about the one closer to where you entered the place.
Okay.
But the one that's directly behind this pillar that you're standing at absolutely does. You're close enough to see that it goes sharply down.
I say we bookmark this place, backtrack to the last tunnel we did not go through, and just investigate that before we press ahead.
Well, it's all in this. It's all in this central chamber here. It's kind of like a big open area.
Yeah. Well, we'll save the one that goes down deeper for last.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And as you approach the first little tunnel entrance, you see a recognizable bit of clothing, like a boot sticking out. And as you close in, it's still attached to what remains of a human figure. Its skin missing in patches. Its face almost completely gone. The arm meat has been gnawed on. It's almost black with rot at this point. But the clothing is still there, dressed in League embroidery around the vest and belt buckle.
I'm going to search the body for any personal identifier.
Yeah, the left hand still has a wedding band on it and a signet ring on the pinky.
Okay.
The left arm seems to have been kind of untouched. I don't know why, but they have decided to slowly eat this thing. So, yeah, you can pull the rings off. They slide off as the flesh around them pulled off with it. It just lets go of the bone.
Is the signet recognizable?
Haru is going to put the two rings between his three fingers and hold them up to Galvin for cleaning.
Snap
and then he's going to inspect them under the light of the under the light of the dancing lights. Yeah.
So, Beacon, what relationship do you have to the League?
Indirect. I was basically just around to help with the preparations of the departed. So I don't have any direct knowledge of their goings-ons.
Okay, so you wouldn't recognize the family signet of
Ashcroft?
Ashcroft. Yes, I dropped the name. The Ashcroft family, who are very well to do within the League, but this body has the signet ring of the Ashcroft family.
Okay. And there's nothing left of the face that I could compare it back to the picture I saw of Ashcroft?
No.
Hmm.
Can we see if there's any more personal items
Sure.
like on his possession or around him?
I think this is sufficient, though.
Is it just the rings?
And Haru is going to slide the signet ring and the wedding band into belt pouch.
Okay. Yeah, you continue to search the body. The stench is almost overpowering at this point, being this close to it.
Can I clean it up?
You could mask the scent.
Yeah, I'm going to use...
Prestidigitation to mask the scent.
Okay, Galvin will make an excellent mortician. But as you search the body, there doesn't seem to be anything outside of a rusted up pistol,
okay,
and an ornate dagger on the belt.
All right.
I'll take that dagger.
We're going to store the stuff for now,
okay,
and I suggest that we get a blanket, wrap the body up, and take it back to...
Get some of the tent canvas.
Yeah, the tent canvas. Wrap it up, go back to the main town, and...
Wait, you want to carry this with us back to town? Couldn't we just not do that and send someone else out here for
Well,
I mean, we cleared the way for them.
he's departed, but I think bring his body... No, they'd have to trek through the jungle.
Well, how about we just give him a proper burial here? I mean, unless you want to carry a cadaver, I don't.
Fine.
There is a cleric with knowledge of these things.
Yeah.
Among you.
Haru glances at the tiefling. You are familiar with the handling the dead, correct? It was clearly Lord Ashcroft's time.
Nick, you there?
I am sorry about that. I was muted.
Yes.
But yes. I feel he has made it before Kalimvar and has been justly judged and is placed in proper resting. Though returning the body would probably help put others at ease.
That's what I was thinking too. Unfortunately, Lord Ashcroft died before. Haru's going to look at the body, probably before we even arrived on this island. So there's nothing we can do to save him, but at least we can bring his body back to somewhere that Lady Ashcroft could come visit if she so desires.
Agreed.
Now, Beacon is going to recognize that once attempting to move the body, the flesh is not really going to survive the treatment. And the best that you could hope for is to strip the bones of the flesh and return his bones to his family.
Lovely.
Gross.
Well, I could cremate him.
Well, what I was going to do
I like that idea.
was go out to the tents, collect some of the canvas. Hey, got that. The dog's messing with the chair. Go back to the tents, collect the fabric and use that to wrap up the body, and then haul it back contained in that.
Okay. And this is what y'all are going to do
For the end of the night, I think.
Okay.
Who's gonna take some notes on landmarks while they're trekking back, so he can hopefully find his way back to the cave?
Okay. And everybody else agree to this plan?
I do.
Yeah.
Back to the village settlement.
As long as I don't have to carry a cadaver.
No.
Yeah, Haru's just gonna handle that.
It's better to carry a cadaver than to be one.
I'm going to go ahead and untie my leash. I got to step a little, because prestigitation's not going to last for too much longer, especially all the way back to town. So
I don't suppose our death priest has gentle repose prepared.
I think this body is long past gentle repose.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I do not have that prepared.
Because that lasts like what, 8 hours a day, something like that.
Something like that.
Well, all right. It takes a bit of time to rip apart the remainders of the tents and prepare to haul the body. And you guys do so and gather your strength and and start to make your way back to Sarah's bounty. Was to come home the past few months. At least a letter to Lady Ashcroft, your current patron, as to the fate of her husband and what he was attempting to accomplish is in order. As well as maybe a desire to maybe see it through. Whatever he was after cost him his life and maybe is worth investigating. And that's where we're going to end tonight. We'll zoom out as you are making your way back towards the village.
Yeah. What we're going to do is put together. We'll copy some notes from his journals, but we'll put those all together with the wedding ring and signet band and a letter explaining the situation, and send that on the next boat, which will probably be here in 3 months.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of months.
So I guess we'll just have that ready to go. So, good session.
Excellent. And we'll just we'll close it out with just a quick outro. Thanks anybody for watching this in the future. This is Jason. I'm Smith Forge Gaming. I appreciate the watch. These are my great players. This is getting more and more fun as we go on.
Poor Lyle. Such a rag doll.
And we'll see what Mysteries Asylum has to offer in the next session.
Spoiler alert, Lyle gets dragged away by hideous monsters. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.